So you may be asking yourself, why do the parkers look so casual?
I work from home. I look casual every day.
Well, not only do we look casual every day, it's also movie night, and Netflix just dropped a banger.
Welcome back to our channel, everyone. My name is Brandon.
I am Siobhan.
So let's go ahead and end Carnival's terrible PR week with this little ditty, Trainwreck Poop Cruise from 2013 on the Carnival Triumph. When an engine fire caused electrical damage, shutting basically the whole ship down. And what happens after that? Debauchery, nastiness, even more debauchery. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Valentine's Day. What a way to spend Valentine's Day, huh?
At sea with my love.
Sometimes there are those scenarios that come along that just grab everyone's attention. I mean, I remember just the rush to get there and knowing that we wanted to start getting eyeballs on this giant story.
3, 2, 1, right under us.
There she is,
Oh,
in
wow.
all her glory.
That's crazy.
Right now we're getting our first look at the stricken cruise ship that's become a floating disaster area.
Oh, that looks crazy. Not them smell not help.
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
What the is happening on this cruise ship?
We just love going on cruises. The
So do I,
food,
sir.
the pool, the water slide. I mean, what more could you ask?
We were like, this is awesome. And then the lights go up.
Oh my god.
That's when all of us were like, what the fuck?
Oh,
okay.
wow. Wait, was that a crew?
A cruise ship
Yeah.
that is dead in the water.
Suddenly, everyone's out for themselves.
It was terrifying. All of a sudden, we were like, oh shit, the ship is on fire.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my god, this is it.
Well, that well tells us we're catching fire since 88.
It turns out it wasn't the fire that was the problem. It was the freaking toilets.
There's shit and piss on the floors in the cafeteria.
Oh,
So much
get ready for it.
Oh my
Get your stomachs ready.
It was a slowly unfolding nightmare that you couldn't stop.
Just get me off the ship.
What a opening.
That was pretty legit.
What a opening. Listen, they making camps outside. Like,
Spelling help is crazy.
spelling help is crazy. Just everybody, like, that was crazy.
Because if you've ever been on a cruise, we have fortunately never been in a situation where we've lost power or anything.
Right.
But it is a worst fear kind of scenario. There's a couple things. One is don't sink the Titanic. 2, please God, don't let us lose power.
Right. So, okay, so we're into it. Everybody's first we're having fun. Now there's poop. So, you ready?
Let's get it.
Let's get back into it.
The first time that I heard about going on a cruise was a simple phone call from my fiance saying, hey, my family's
Nice
going on a
cabin
cruise, let's
number.
do it together. Everything's taken care of.
Pipe in Charles Barkley. Because of course
it
it's
is
Galveston.
Yeah.
To quote Charles Barkley, because I know my wife's not going to put the clip in here.
At Cozumel, Mexico. Then we were going to get back out to sea and have a nice day back to Galveston. It's going to be great.
Okay, we'll see there.
A little bot 4 days.
But I was a little nervous because I was going to be spending a lot of time with my fiance's father.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll be nervous too.
I went on the cruise with the one intent, and that was for me and Becca to have daddy-daughter time.
That's the ship we're going on.
It's always that first glance of the
It's
ship.
like a building.
I don't think you realize
Triumph.
how big cruise lines are until you're standing in front of it, realizing you're standing in front of a skyscraper on its side and it's floating. It's humongous.
Never thought about it like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we're setting the scene here. He's doing a good job of selling the cruise. If I had never been on a cruise before, I'd want to go on a cruise.
That's why we love cruising.
This is
Everything
what-
he's laid out.
Everything he's laid out. But the kicker is, hey, not only am I going on a cruise, but my future father-in-law is going to be there. And this is just a quick little bop. We're going to get in. We're going to get out. Then we're going to go on, marry him. We're going to live happily ever after.
Mhm.
So it all seems good right now.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
I was getting married It was my bachelorette party. We all talked about it and discussed and decided that a cruise would be a fun way to celebrate.
We were supposed to go to some kind of safety briefing, but I remember being like, we're not going to need this information. Like, what are the chances we need to remember a muster station, right?
They seem like a fun group of gals.
Have a chat with my father-in-law, let him know I'm a good guy.
That's what you're supposed to do, sir.
We were in the sun all day, drinking cocktails.
It was amazing.
Suddenly, this voice breaks through the ceiling, and it's this like positive British woman. Hi, it's Jen. So excited.
Good afternoon, welcome on board the beautiful Carnival Triumph. I loved my job. I absolutely loved every aspect of it.
As a kid growing up in the Soviet Union, I could never imagine that I would be working on the cruise ship with Americans, saying "Yeehaw" and enjoying it.
For the kitchen, you have to work at least 70 hours a week, sometimes more. Initially, it was really difficult for me because when I came from India, I was not used to working so hard.
And there is so much fun on the cruise ship when you are a crew. There is lots of sex on the cruise ship.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, so much sex you don't want to know. Like, everything is hard and fun.
Okay, so everybody's talking about having first day. Everything was great. Everybody's having a good time. We're bellying up to the bar. Everybody line dancing on the Lido deck. Everything is amazing.
It appears to be.
It appears to be.
Arriving at Cosmo was awesome because it's colorful and there's music and people welcome you when you get off the boat. So yeah, we were ready to continue the great time. And we had some wonderful food. We stuffed our faces.
Is that single frogs?
When we walked back to the ship, we realized that we've only got one day left. Now you're headed back home.
Everything went perfect up to that point. I mean, it really was. Couldn't ask for any better.
I literally don't remember getting back on board. So I could have been crawling, I could have been carried. I don't remember that part. We left our dignity in Cozumel.
Uh-oh.
Leaving your dignity in Cosmo is
It's crazy. Oh.
That's not really how.
This is not how it happens.
My eyes and like looking around, pitch black. Like, what is going on?
The noise is coming from like a speaker in the ceiling. And so you're staring at it. And then suddenly you hear Alpha Team, Alpha Team,
Have we ever heard of that?
Alpha Team.
This is so loud. Shut it off, right? Somebody needs to turn it off.
I'm nervous. I have no idea what Alpha Team Alert means.
I was not in my own cabin when the alarm went.
She was just there to.
It happens.
I
I was in this guy's cabin who works in the engineering room. When I see him jumping off bed, putting on his overall, I was like, okay, something is going on.
I was in the kitchen working night shift. At that time, I thought it was a drill. I saw smoke coming out from the drain of the sink. All of us were like, what the fuck?
I went up to the bridge, and as soon as I walked in, I knew this is something serious.
People were like running, banging on doors. You could hear the panic. This is the Titanic. We're going down. Where is our muster station?
I could hear them calling for the fire team to head down to deck 0. The amount of training, can prepare you for. It was like a numb feeling. I can't really swim.
The captain came over and said, "There's a fire in the engine room. I gotta tell the guests."
So, first thing, it's like insurance. You don't want to use it, but it's there if you need it. Find your muster station as soon as you get on board.
The first thing you do, it takes 30 seconds.
And we've been on so many cruises, I feel like we kind of take this for granted. But this is gonna pull me back to reality, and I'm gonna start memorizing the actual muster station.
No, I don't forget, but also, like you said, you kind of take it for granted because you've done it so much.
And I also can't imagine the fear that's just like going through your body when you see the whale tail on fire.
Yes.
Yes, there's crew members on board who fight the fires.
They're scared too.
They're scared too, and you don't know you don't know if that fire is going to lead to another fire, which just comes down to the Lido deck, and the Lido, you got all this stuff going through your head, and especially you're in a drunken stupor and you're just waking up, so you're not really knowing what to think. I can't imagine.
And also, let's not forget, the crew probably 99.9% sure they've never done this before.
No.
It's not like they're putting out fires every week. So they're not only scared or not only doing what they do on ships at night and not being where they were, but it's like they have to do something they've never done before, which includes saving everybody's life.
And they do, so if you've never been on a cruise, they do run drills and tests, not every day, but often. It's often. So they are very well prepared and well trained. But as Mike Tyson once said, everybody has a game plan until you get punched in the mouth. And this is where they're getting punched in the mouth. Let's go back.
Let's go.
That was reassuring. And so I told my fiance, everything's going to be fine. Maybe we should go get some coffee. And then the lights go out.
Stop.
This is just like the cruise.
Suddenly it went dark on the bridge.
It's like darkness. What the hell's going on?
Totally dark. You can't see anything.
Then we audibly heard the AC cut out.
Oh, no.
When power goes, that's it. Everything's out.
I quickly realized that the cellular was out too.
And then we'll be back to normal in an hour or so.
Famous last words.
There's no lights, but the emergency lighting was on, so that wasn't like a major issue. Air conditioning, people, if they're inside, can go up to the open decks. Also not too bad. And then somebody realized that the toilets weren't working.
Oh, I don't want to see inside nobody's toilet.
So they weren't going to flush, which is, with thousands of guests, a major issue. We had to come up with a plan. Initially, it was, the idea of being overboard. Like, for a man, it's okay.
Right. What are we going to do?
They could fall in. I was like, well, we can do a number one in the shower, which seems like a really feasible option. So it was, that sounds good. Let's go with that. And then for the number two, that was definitely a trickier problem than number one.
And very important information, folks. As you probably know by now, the toilets are not flushing, and it's going to start causing a little bit of a problem.
We have a little bit of experience. First, I just want to backtrack because it bothers my spirit. Not being hot is like, I can't stand it. So if the AC is out, there's going to be a mutiny on board if I'm involved, because I can't be hot.
No.
I just can't. So the AC would have driven me up a wall. I had to get off my chest.
Okay. Okay. You feel better?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Two, we have a little bit of experience where we didn't have a bathroom on Margaritaville at sea in our cabin. But that was just in our cabin.
Right.
We had access to the public areas and like the spa. So we were, as much as it was an inconvenience, ultimately it wasn't gonna like ruin our cruise.
Right.
This, ladies and gentlemen, this is a cruise ruiner.
Yes.
And yes, pee in the shower, but just
number two.
I'll let you. I'll let you.
No. That's perfect because like he said, you realize that they tell you everything's going to be okay, and you hope that everything is going to be okay. Now, I didn't want to say anything because I was trying to figure out how to bring it up, but what about the lifeboats? And maybe they'll get into that, but I know like maybe the lifeboats are lowered into the water by electricity, but shouldn't there not be a backup plan in case there is no electricity on how to get these lifeboats in the water?
I guess we'll find out.
And if you do need to do a number two, we ask that you please do it in the red bag and drop it off in the bins in the corridors. Thank you, folks, and I'll be back with any more updated info.
So that seems like a hazard.
Well, the red bags are the biohazard.
Yes, I get that.
But how are you holding bags over your?
Yeah, well, how are you gonna do that? Are you just hey, I'll hold the bag for you if you hold the bag for me.
And I ain't doing it.
And, you know, sometimes it has a liquidy consistency.
Oh, come on. Come on.
And other times it is, you know, it can be
a lot.
Yeah, it can, you know.
We ain't got to describe what it is. We know what
all
it
is. This. So it's like, do you just this is gonna be gross. And we got to put some type of disclaimer. So do you just, like, if you fill up one bag and you still gotta go, do you squeeze it off? You pinch it off?
Okay, that's enough. We ain't gotta go that deep into it. Listen. The problem is you pooping in a bag here.
Yes.
Nobody does this in their everyday life. So I don't know how you figured, and I understand that you had to figure out what to do, but pooping in a bag is not going to be as easy as you're trying to deliver it, Jen.
And how many poop bags would you think they would have on board?
I don't think they have enough. Not for thousands of people. And what are we giving? One bag a person? Like,
to quote Kendrick Lamar,
it's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
What the fuck?
You want me to what?
Excuse me?
No.
I'm not doing that.
Like, it was just like, oh, what world are we living in? This can't be real.
I mean, I never thought in my weirdest dream that I will see a day when I will have to poop in a red bag.
I know it was hideous, but that's the only option that we had. Like, it really was a genius plan.
Oh, come on with sliding the bag underneath the door.
As soon as I saw the red bags, I was like, oh no. Oh no.
You want to do something?
I was like, red bag? No way. Not happening.
I immediately started taking Imodium.
That's smart.
But that liquor don't care.
When I heard about the fire on the Triumph, it was immediately crisis mode. You have to remember, a cruise ship is the biggest machine on the planet. And so when things go wrong, they typically go wrong in a big way. First step is to put out a holding statement, very short, and distribute that to the media. Something to the effect of, the Carnival Triumph has experienced a fire in the engine room. The ship is just without propulsion right now, and we're working to fix it. We did not mention that the toilets were not working. You give them what you believe they need, and no more than that.
I would imagine some local affiliates picked up the story, but not national news.
My daughter's on that ship with her daddy. That's my baby out there. I didn't know if she was okay.
As a 12-year-old, it's very scary to not be able to talk to your mom and tell her everything that's going on and tell her, you know, how you feel. And, you know, you just want both of your parents there to hug you and hold you, and you can't have that.
Okay. Pause. I'm confused by the timeline. Did she just say she was 12?
Yeah.
So what a fiance doing?
I told you before that wasn't her fiance. I'm trying to tell you that at the start.
So who is his fiance? Because
she's not there.
Okay. Okay, I was confused. I'm sorry. I thought that was the fiance and the father-in-law.
No.
Okay. I was like, what we talking about here? She's 12. Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I was really confused. Now I'm caught up.
And the fact that national news was kind of treating this like
it's just a cruise story.
It's just a cruise story. Granted, there was more important things probably going on in the world.
Yes.
But you would think people be, and again, they didn't know how bad it was.
Right.
But to kind of seeing it just kind of like, get this out of my face was kind of,
That was crazy.
Yeah.
By noon, we were trying to, go about our day as normal, as we could. But we had the hot sun blaring down on us, trying to find some cold water, just rummaging around the ship, trying to figure out, like, okay, what do we eat? What do we drink?
As if this is The Walking Dead.
Right.
I mean, it'll just suffocate you in minutes because there's nothing stirring, nowhere at all.
I knew it was dark. Yeah. So you kind of want like a buddy system. I don't want to go alone. It's too scary.
And then one of the other guests on the boat was like, this is what you need to do. So we had taken the beacon out of the life jacket. He told us to pour like soda on it so it gets wet and it starts to light up.
And so the whole time you have like this disco tech going on while you're doing it. It was a very bizarre experience.
This is my first cruise, but I don't think this is normal.
Oh my God. Pretty much the fire had burned through all the power cables to the whole ship. So there was no hope of getting the power back. Your heart just drops. Like, what do we do?
Call up to Progreso, Mexico, closest port, the tugboat to come out, started pulling us in.
Yeah.
Best laid plans.
As we got closer to dusk, as we got closer to the end of the first day, the first night is coming, we realized we cannot sleep in these rooms.
And you can't
sleep. It was just so hot.
That's when I started to see people dragging their mattresses out on deck.
So, very imaginative, probably out of self-preservation, to drag the mattresses up to the Lido deck, because at least you get that cool
kind of breeze,
that cool ocean breeze. Yes. But I guess that only accounts for so much. It's apocalyptic.
It
is.
It's
like something out of The Walking Dead.
No water. Trying to figure out how to use the bathroom in a dark ship. The sun is going down. The ship is going to get darker. It's hot because there's no air circulating. People trying to figure out where they're going to sleep, at least to be cool enough to not suffocate. It's getting ready to get bad.
Yeah, and also you got to think about, again, no electricity, no way of preparing food. So it's like
people are going to get hungry. People are going to have to start going to the bathroom because, first of all, that liquor and that food, cruise ship food already is going to be an issue. Now you're talking about the liquor that they processed the night before or the day before. Okay.
Now you got to sleep with one eye open because
you don't know who's sleeping beside you.
You looking like a mule.
We ain't got that deep yet, I don't think, but okay. Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. Where in the hell is Mexico?
Man, it's supposed to be a 4-day cruise. We're on day 5. Yeah, they'll start giving away some of that water.
That's some stuff you see in water.
The next morning we woke up and everything had changed.
So why would you go actively looking for
it? And then there was the food.
What food?
The next day morning, I threw away all the perishable food and started to make sandwiches, onions, tomatoes, whatever we could find for the 3,000 hungry guests on board.
Get out of my way!
Wait. Okay, so we're getting to day 5. This is supposed to be a 4-day cruise. We're still floating dead in the water. The tugboat is supposed to come at noon. But now you have to think, people have literally been at sea for 24 hours with no food, no cold water, nowhere really to sleep. And now it's looking a little active.
Did he say tomato and onion sandwiches?
He said tomato and onion sandwiches. Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. You know a tomato and onion sandwich? A tomato and onion sandwich?
Hey, that's what he said.
I get it. I mean, you do what you got to do, but we that far. I don't think we that far in the apocalypse where I gotta eat a tomato and onion sandwich. But you don't know. I mean, I ain't in this situation, and thank God
You've never been stranded at sea for.
I know, and I don't plan on it.
Hours.
I don't plan on it. So yeah, no. Oh boy. Okay.
What's real wood?
This one, yes. Okay.
You have to wait in line for 2 hours. But when you got up to see what it was that you were waiting on, it was like a soggy bread and tomato lettuce sandwich.
It took a complete turn from the first day where you walk around and there's food everywhere and there's ice cream machines and there's pizza.
Suddenly, people were very much like in survival mode. Everyone's out for themselves. They're in line to get food. They're going to get as much food as they can.
The hoarding on board was ridiculous. People just grabbing everything and sort of taking it like with them to little camps.
Made me think that, now all these Americans somehow can feel what it was in dictatorship country where shit like this happens and it doesn't surprise anyone. Yeah, welcome to the Soviet Union, people.
Oh, wow.
It's like shantytown.
It is.
So we jumped a little bit ahead of ourselves. Who would just listen a little bit further, we would have known. So this is, again, I hate to keep using this word. This is apocalyptic.
It is.
So it is basically survival of the fittest. and you get in where you fit in.
Yep.
So you have to be you. Would you be a hoarder?
I think you have to, because you don't know what's getting ready to happen, and I think you got to protect your camp.
And it is like camp. It is crazy.
I don't know these folks. I know I got a baby to feed. What would you do if someone said, "Oh"? Sorry.
No, don't apologize for it.
No,
Don't apologize for it.
It's true. It's true. What would you do if your son was back at base camp crying because he was
the fact that
hungry?
they had to kind of like faction and have camps is just crazy. It's I know I keep saying this, but it's like Walking Dead, Last of Us stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Except you don't have a world to roam. You're just on a cruise ship, and there are limited resources.
Yeah.
So it's like,
okay, so the crew member saying everybody just grabbing stuff, and then the other one saying, "Oh, now you know how it feels in another country," was crazy. But I get where you're coming from. But also, that was a crazy statement. But I get where you're coming from. Okay.
To put them over chairs and make up tent cities. And so there was a rush to get a deck chair. And people were tugging and fighting. This is my area. These are my people. And don't come messing with us.
So your GPS puts us on the F. Yeah. Because we're fucked.
What a tugboat.
All of a sudden, we look out and we see another ship.
they can't do that.
Well, you're right.
I was like, this is it. They're going to save us.
How?
One of the other sister ships, the Legend, was close by, and they stopped by and helped us out.
They bring
They
food?
went more food supplies than
Okay.
anything. Because logistically and safety-wise, you can't just walk 4,500
Right.
people from one ship to the other. Like, it's a huge procedure.
Yeah, was it just gonna throw a grappling hook
With a
across
freak show in the middle of the ocean.
and just
And they're
slide over?
partying, they don't stop dancing.
They're doing the YMCA.
Wait. So the Legend shows up. And the Legend is here to save the day. We're going to give y'all some food and water. We're going to save the day. But we can't necessarily logistically take y'all off of this ship, which is understandable because you're taking a full ship and putting it on another full ship. But for y'all to keep partying, y'all dancing, taking pictures, doing the YMCA while I'm up here in shit poop town is crazy.
Oh, I mean,
no, turn the music off. Hey, when you drive by a funeral, do you keep playing rap or do you turn it down?
I mean, like, I get it.
You get what?
But I think that's just me being, at that point, that's just kind of me being a hater, justifiably a hater.
I think their cruise director should have came up and was like, look, we understand what is going on, but to be sensitive to what is going on in the other ship while we help them out, we're going to move all the parties inside. We're not going to have any parties on the leader. Do whatever you need to do, but don't sit here and throw in my face and I got to sit on the deck and look at y'all have a good time while y'all take pictures of me like I'm in the zoo. And y'all over there doing the YMCA. Woo!
After that, I'm throwing one of those Batman grappling hooks across.
This is what I'm saying.
And just going across.
And this is what I'm saying. Okay, so now you understand where I'm coming from. All right.
Yay. And I'm over here popping Imodium.
We're like a scenic detour on their cruise.
Yeah.
Wow.
I get it, man. I get it.
That was the beginning of like this aha moment where we thought, hey, can we get a Wi-Fi signal from that boat?
We were all trying to get as close as we could to steal cell phone reception from it.
Everyone's out on deck, holding their phones up in the air, trying to get reception. Started to get signal.
Phones are ringing.
I was thinking to myself, this could be bad, you know, because all people are going to try and do is call home or call whoever to let them know that they're stuck in the middle of the ocean, there's no power.
Right, but it's like your cell phone's
Taking shits in red bags, you know.
I told her that the
The fact that people's
electricity went
phones are
out
still
about the red bags. I told
haven't
her
died.
everything was just going sideways.
I would never expect that Rebecca would be telling me she's having a poop in a red bag. It's like something that came out of a nightmare movie.
People and having to go in bags, and that's when we started saying, this is a story.
200 people floating.
Worked as long as it could, sir.
Holy Christ, how did that happen? Now the cat's out of the bag. It's like the snowball has started to roll and there's no stopping it.
Some of that great Carnival PR.
Question. So you kept this under wraps for maybe a good 24 hours, a little more, and only to find out that your other cruise ship betrayed you with the Wi-Fi. But no, seriously, how long did you think you were going to be able to keep this under wraps? Because if that tugboat had got there when it was supposed to be, this would not, you would still kind of be able to control the narrative. So what's happening here? Because not only was there an issue with, why didn't you, as a corporation, I understand you can't just like, hey, like you said, throw a hook one ship to the next, but what are the muster stations for? Put these people in the lifeboats. But maybe I'm jumping ahead here.
Maybe. My thing is like, maybe if the narrative would have gotten out there, maybe they could have gotten help quicker.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, but don't, like, it's always trying to spin the truth and save the day. Let's just tell the truth, ask for help, and get these people home.
It's also easy to do that when you're not pooping in a red bag.
True. When you got electricity, you can flush your toilet. Okay, gotcha.
I, as passengers, wait to be rescued.
Every time there's a maritime disaster, I'm watching it, okay? You know, it's my business. These people in my hair were standing up. I was like, what is this? I mean, this is absurd. These are paying passengers. They had some problems with fires on other boats.
So they've been catching fire since. So it was true. They have been catching fire since '88.
The Splendor, the Triumph, the Freedom. Y'all, come.
You would think. I don't know how much we can say or should say, but you would think the PR giving all the previous issues, there would be better PR in place and procedures in place. Again, that's all it was.
Okay.
No. They told us that since we lost power, the ship had drifted over 100 nautical miles. Now we were nowhere near Mexico. So the new plan now is to take everybody to Mobile, Alabama.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Add on a couple of days at least. My heart just dropped out. I was just like,
are you kidding? Like, that's absolute disaster.
3 more days of this. It's not going to get better. We're starting to smell urine, starting to smell the toilets. They weren't draining.
It's the book. Okay.
And so it would fill up
with the pee,
showers,
the everybody
and it would
peeing.
just sit there with nowhere to go.
That's when we realized that we are screwed.
So I start hunting for bathrooms. Because there was a rumor that there were bathrooms and toilets somewhere that worked. Nope, that one doesn't work. Going to the next one. Nope, that one's disgusting. That one doesn't work.
I would be sick.
I really had to go. Number 2. And I found this public restroom and I go inside and it was the most nastiest thing I have ever seen in my life. People were covering the poop with the toilet paper and then again pooping on top of it. So it was a layer after layer after layer.
My gosh.
Oh
my gosh.
So it was a poop lasagna.
I knew you was gonna say it. That is, oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Yeah, I feel like you do have to, like, at some point, right? You have to go searching for a bathroom. Like, again, it's just like it's like Walking Dead. At some point, you have to go try to find, like, supplies. And so at some point, you have to go try to find a bathroom that works, or just hasn't been desecrated.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
This is crazy. I don't know what else to say.
So the decision was made let's open up the bar for free drinks.
Y'all should have been did that.
Definitely against the idea of the.
Are you serious?
No, give them some water. It's soda, not the liquor. Oh, y'all giving them liquor is crazy. Giving them liquor is crazy. The sodas and the water, I understand.
To me, you're even pushing it with like soda, but I get it. Liquor, alcohol is a non-starter. It is a non-starter. Whoever came up with that idea should be. I don't know. I don't have words. That seems like a terrible idea. There's a couple different factors why. One, people get really stupid and crazy when they're drunk.
They were already hungry.
And they were already hungry, and people were already delirious as is. So people were just going crazy, and you're adding liquor onto people already going crazy. Two, liquor with questionable food is also a recipe for more number twos. Also, it is a recipe for number ones. It's a recipe for number threes. So it's like, why would you open yourself up to more number threes? Let's go, man. This is a terrible. This is
Who
gonna end.
was running the show, man?
This is gonna end poorly. This is gonna end very poorly.
Who was running the show? Oh my gosh.
We were like, this is awesome. Free drinks. Let's go.
So warm beer.
So finally,
Warm.
it's something. Cruises are supposed to be fun. It's free booze. Let's go.
People were double fisting drinks, taking them back to their rooms.
It was the craziest, the busiest, the drunkest. Just give me the drinks. Woo hoo hoo, yes.
Everything was going great.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
There's people urinating off the side of the ship. I was like, oh shit.
People were throwing their red bags on the lifeboats. Somebody threw the poop bag and the wind blew it back. Or somebody sitting on the open deck. And that person is like, what the fuck?
The group next to us in Tent City, it was a newlywed husband and wife, and they were having sex right in front of me.
What?
On the chair.
Your job is to protect, and I can do anything.
We gotta put a stop to this. Close the bar.
Here comes the mayhem.
And who would have thought? Who would have thought that open up a free bar for people who have been stranded for 3 days, who are already delirious, with no food on their system, would get so drunk and debauchery would ensue?
We knew the fighting was coming, but did we know that the marital bliss was coming? Did we know that was happening?
Well, people tend to like to do that stuff when they're drunk, so
nuts. And then the poor father, trying to feel like he can't help
his daughter. And that's the thing. Like, you gotta, like, again, another just a terrible reason why a terrible idea this was. There are still kids on board.
Yes.
So, like, you're opening yourself up to just whatever. This is the Wild Wild West. There are no rules. It's just, you're just opening yourself up with so much that could go wrong. The positives of opening up the bar definitely did not outweigh the negatives. The negatives were on a triple beam.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it was just a terrible idea.
We were so excited when we saw that the tugboats had finally arrived.
AAA finally got here.
Because that means we're moving. There was an end in sight.
But when the tugboat started to pull us, whoa, everything shifted.
Oh, no.
This listing is going to be nuts on video.
Because
We were
there's
now
no
on our way, but
stabilizers.
also, the angle of the ship had adjusted and everything tilted to the side.
Tugboats are pushing us. Hold on to your phone.
Suddenly the weather turned.
Jeez, like, hold on. If everything that could possibly work against you happened to be in a perfect storm. The Triumph was a perfect storm of disaster from point A to now we're probably at point S, okay? But point A to S, y'all can fill in the blank for point S. Everything that could possibly happen up until this point has happened. And now that they finally got help, the ship is listing because there's no stabilizers because there's no electricity, and a storm is coming.
Well, it'll be cool that night at least. Positive.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
Oh
I
no.
became very aware that this was probably the tipping point.
No.
And that's the moment everything spilled.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
It's sloshing out here too.
Sloshing.
Imagine everything that goes in a toilet, right? Piss, shit, all of it. It's just, it's everywhere.
Oh my god.
Watch out. Watch out. I'm telling you, it got bad fast.
Oh.
Everything overflowed into the floor and just kept overflowing.
And now it's raining. You gotta think about
Oh shit, that is slippery. Understanding it.
Oh my
We were
gosh.
in excrement.
As soon as I jumped from my top bunk, I had water on my feet, and I was like, "What the fuck?" It was really bad. I had to hold my breath. It was disgusting.
It was everywhere.
Yeah, man, there's really not too much more for us. There's just not a lot to say here. There's just really not a lot to say. What are you supposed to say?
We are now in the thick of it.
This is a night.
This is absolutely a nightmare.
There's not much to say other than that somebody's gonna have to answer for this when they get to shore.
At that point, I was like, just get me off the ship.
Day 6.
In the overnight hours, all these new details started coming in about the description of what is happening on this cruise.
Our room flooded. There's sewage, rock sewage in the hallway.
There's shit and piss on the floors in the cafeteria.
In 2 years, there were 9 incidents of faulty fuel lines while these vessels were at sea that were potentially causing fires on board. I mean, it's unbelievable. In my plain language, that's called Russian roulette with people's lives.
You just wake up to go to sleep to hopefully get back home.
I think when you get stuck at sea like that, your mind wanders, and I think we just wanted to get back home.
I mean, I remember at one point there was an older gentleman even setting up a Bible study.
From the start, I had it all planned out for it to be great,
what it's like.
but then it turns so bad that it's like, this is not what I wanted.
There you go. There's so much.
Look how happy they are to hear that.
I just remember thanking the crew. I mean, where in their job description was picking up people's feces?
I know. The day you tell me I got to
take a
quit.
private bathroom for granted again.
We were shocked and relieved that so many of them credited the Carnival crew members.
No thanks to
superhuman effort.
Get out of here, bro.
I remember coming off the boat and I ran to my mom. And I just ran to her full speed and jumped into her arms.
We totally made it through this together, didn't we? And we didn't have to use a red bag.
Ship never should have set sail. And these documents tell you that this vessel had a propensity for fires.
This was something that was totally preventable. Problem is, you run into the ticket.
These passengers have no right to sue because Carnival's attorneys say when you buy your ticket,
The ticket contract makes absolutely no guarantee for safe passage, a seaworthy vessel, adequate and wholesome food, and sanitary and safe living conditions.
What?
You certainly don't see that disclaimer on the commercial.
I think if most people actually knew that existed at the time, they probably would never buy a ticket. I certainly wouldn't.
This was a miss. Okay. First of all, the cruise contract, the ticket. We don't guarantee you safe passage, a working vessel, sanitary conditions, good, like, edible food. Why
would you put that? Why would you, like, I know why you would put that in the cruise contract, but why would you put that in the cruise contract?
Why would you put that in the cruise contract?
Especially, these people, somebody could have passed away here. Somebody could be permanently damaged mentally from this. People already have this stigma about cruising and like being out on the water and all that stuff. You may have permanently damaged their mental. So, like, yeah, it's all fun and games to put in the contract, but you can permanently damage someone mentally and physically. That's not cool. And it's like, Carnival is, from between this and their new rewards program, how they're handling that, their PR sucks. And, like, I'm not, trying to get any hot water, but their PR is objectively not good.
We need some work. Yeah. So it says the passengers were given a full refund, transportation expenses, a $500 payment, and offered a free cruise. So they took the Triumph out of service, did the repairs to it, and now it is called the Sunrise. We haven't sailed on the Sunrise. So, of course, they changed the terms and conditions. They removed the caveats about wholesome food, sanitary and safe living conditions, safe passage, and seaworthy vessels.
Again, this is also something that we don't do, that this is a reminder of for us to do now. After this, read the cruise contracts. Just got to read the cruise contract. So what changes came out of this was they invested over $500 million, some say 300, across this entire fleet. Upgrades focus on fire prevention and suppression systems. A major vulnerability identified after the Triumph was the lack of sufficient redundancy in critical systems, making sure ships had, why this wasn't already a thing, making sure ships had backup generators. I know too.
You don't know what you need until you need it.
Thank you. Just again, be vigilant, read the cruise contracts, know where your muster stations are, and I'm glad those people are doing okay now. Don't let this deter you from cruising. Cruising is awesome. Cruising is amazing. Cruising is life-changing. Don't let this deter you. This is a wonderful.
And on that note,
until next time,
Parker's out.
If you need assistance booking your next cruise, feel free to reach out to us at parkersonthego16@gmail.com, and we can help you book your next cruise adventure.
Watch this video right here.